Hi guys, this is Chef Bhumika. Let's see how to make cinnamon rolls. Let's start with making the bread bit. I'm going to start with some warm milk and some instant yeast. The best part about using instant yeast is that you don't have to wait for it to bloom or anything. Next, I'm adding in caster sugar. You can also use powdered sugar made at home or just regular sugar. Let's mix this with a spatula. And next, I'm adding in a little bit of yogurt for some softness. All-purpose flour into this, along with salt. Let's mix it up with a spatula first so that my hands remain nice and clean. Once it all comes together, switch over to your hands. I'm going to drop it on the counter so that I can knead it properly. This is quite a sticky dough, so it might stick to your hands at first, but then it should release after kneading it for 5 minutes. Just use your spatula and release it, and it will stop sticking to your worktop. Now the dough has come together, so I'm just going to flatten it a bit and add in some butter. This is going to make our dough extremely soft once we bake it. This looks like a lot of butter, but this is an enriched bread, so don't shy away from it. It's going to make your bread taste amazing. I'm trying not to touch the butter and I'm trying to enclose it into the dough. Now I will continue kneading till the butter is completely incorporated. You'll know that your dough is ready when it starts releasing from the work surface. As you can see, it is not sticking at all to the surface or my hands anymore. Let me show you how to check whether it's completely done. Just pinch it from two sides very close to each other and pull it up. You should be able to pull it up into a thin sheet and you should be able to see the light through it. This means it has passed the window pane test. Turn your dough into a ball, making sure that the top surface is completely smooth. Place it down on your work surface and cover it with the bowl that you used initially. Now we're going to let this rise till it doubles in size. This should take about an hour. It's been an hour and the dough has doubled in size. Time to knock this down. If the dough sticks to your counter, just use a bit of dry flour. Now we're going to roll this out into a rectangle. Just make sure there's a little bit of dry flour everywhere so that everything becomes mess free. Now using a rolling pin, I'm going to make this completely even. Time to spread some butter on it. I'm using salted butter. Just making sure this is completely soft. I'm going to add it over the dough and spread it using a palette knife. Make sure it's a thin layer of butter. So having an even rectangle will be very helpful here. You need just enough butter to cover the entire surface of the dough from one side. Time to fill this up with some cinnamony goodness. So in a big bowl, I'm going to add in brown sugar, cinnamon powder. I'm going to use my hands and mix this up. It's just easier this way because the next step is to sprinkle this on top of the butter. Don't be shy, use quite a bit of the filling. This is going to add a good sweetness to your cinnamon buns. We're going to press all of this using a rolling pin again. Dust everything off from your rolling pin if it sticks to it. It will come off very easily. Now it's time to roll this over. I'm going to start pushing this from one end and roll it over itself. Make sure it's nice and tight. Our log is ready. Now it's time to cut this into smaller pieces. First, I will cut it into half and then I'll cut it into 3 equal portions. I like to keep them quite thick so that you get a nice sizable amount to eat when you bite into it. I'm going to use an oval dish and start placing the rolls. If your roll starts to unravel, don't worry. Just pull it and push it to the side so that there's no way that it can unravel anymore. Here's the last piece. Again, making sure that the seam is touching the side of my pan. I'm going to press this lightly from the top to make sure all of them are the same height. So because of all this butter, I am sure that this is not going to stick to my pan. But if you still feel like you want to play safe, you can add a little bit of butter at the bottom of your pan to make sure it comes out very easily. Now it's time to proof this for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, our cinnamon rolls have fluffed up properly and filled in all of those spaces in our pan. Now it's time to bake them. Usually breads are baked at around 200 degrees Celsius or more, but because our bread has so much sugar in it, we're going to bake it at a lower temperature so that when we bake it, it doesn't brown too much. We're going to bake this at 180 degrees Celsius for 12 to 18 minutes until it is nice and golden brown. While the cinnamon rolls are baking, let's make the glaze that will go on top of it. I'm starting with some icing sugar and about 2 tablespoons of warm milk, 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 1/8 of a teaspoon of vanilla extract. The one that I have is extremely thick, so I have it on my spoon here and I'm going to use the spoon to mix the glaze around. We'll let the cinnamon rolls cool for around 10 to 15 minutes and then we'll top it off with some glaze. So I'm just going to spoon over the glaze and it's going to drip off from all the sides. When you make cinnamon rolls, you can leave them outside the fridge for up to 2 days. Don't forget to warm them up before eating. I'm sure if you try this recipe out, you, your family and your friends are absolutely going to love them. This is Chef Bhumika signing off from Rajshri Food. Merry Christmas!